The hospital break room is never truly quiet. Even when no one's talking, there is the hum of the fridge, the sharp ding of a microwave, the shuffle of tired shoes against cracked linoleum. But the loudest thing in that room is the silence, because in that silence sits the weight of everything we carry. People imagine we gossip, that we laugh, that we complain about shifts or colleagues. But the truth, we talk about the ones we can't forget. The boy with leukemia who smiled through every intravenous cannula change, even though each one made him wince. The young mother who whispered, "Take care of my baby," before being wheeled into surgery, words that became her last. The ones who died too soon, the ones who died alone, the ones who looked like someone we loved. I remember one night in particular, 6 hours into a brutal shift. The trauma bay had seen 3 codes in just 2 hours. Every hallway was overflowing. There were no beds left, and no strength left either. I walked into the break room, and it was packed, not with noise, but with silence. The kind of silence that follows chaos, the kind that clings to your skin. Then, finally, someone spoke. "Do you ever dream about them?" one nurse asked, almost in a whisper. The room stilled. Another voice answered, barely audible. "Yeah, especially the kids." No one laughed. No one shifted. We just sat there, peeling oranges, sipping lukewarm tea, holding stories too heavy to say out loud in front of patients. One nurse checked her phone, not for social media, not for escape, but to refresh a lab result. "I can't stop thinking about her," she said. She was only 23, same age as my sister, and in that moment, the truth of it all cut through me. The break room is the only place we take off the mask, where we stop being clinical, where we let ourselves be human again. Sometimes we cry, sometimes we laugh, because if we don't, we'll shatter, and sometimes we say nothing at all, because in that tiny, stuffy room with flickering lights and stale instant coffee, we finally have permission to put down the pain. At least for a moment. People think nurses grow thick skin, but the truth, we don't. We just learn where to hide the scars. And more often than not, we leave them right there, inside that little room, the room where nurses break. Learning lessons for healthcare workers. 1. Break rooms are more than places to rest, they're spaces to heal emotionally. Use them. 2. Vulnerability among peers isn't weakness, it's survival. Talking is a form of therapy. 3. Don't minimize the impact of what you witness. Process it, together if needed. Learning lessons for medical and nursing students. 1. Learn early that teamwork includes emotional support. Debrief with your colleagues. 2. What you hear in break rooms will teach you more about humanity than textbooks ever could. 3. Respect the sacredness of that space. It's where resilience is rebuilt. Learning lessons for the public. 1. Behind every calm nurse is a person holding in 1,000 emotions. 2. Those breaks you see them take, they're not luxuries, they're lifelines. 3. Compassion is not just needed at the bedside, it's needed for those standing beside it. Closing reflection. The break room is not just where nurses rest, it's where we put down the invisible weight we carry. It's where pain is spoken, where silence is shared, and where we remind ourselves we are human first, caregivers second. Hospitals may run on protocols and charts, but healing often begins in those small, unremarkable rooms. This is Silent Scrubs, where every story carries a lesson for healthcare workers, students, and the public. If this story resonated with you, subscribe and walk with me through the untold truths of hospital life.